All right, let's get into the Commanders-Eagles game.
Another one I'm emotionally punched out on.
But we put it up as the Junkies poll of the day. You can vote at Junks Radio. What do you think is the most likely outcome for the game? Philadelphia wins big. Ross Tucker predicted 27-13, I believe, Eagles with 2 picks from Howell. Philadelphia squeaks out a win, which would be a moral victory, EB, if it's a close game.
They don't have to just squeak. If we just be competitive within a score for most of the game, and still the game is still in question through 4 quarters, I think that'd be a moral victory.
Or do the Commanders pull off an upset, which they did last year? 13% right now voting for upset. You can vote at Junks Radio. Look, I think we're all going to be singing the same song. We just saw them get pummeled by the Bills. And we saw a defense that entered that game with just 3 sacks. And they ended up with 9 in the game. I think the Eagles, if you look at their sack totals, they're not high. I think their leading sack guy's got 1.5 right now. But I think there may be a formula where you don't have to really trick it up too much. You can just bring those guys against an inferior offensive line. It's going to create pressure. I think it's going to be tough for Washington to do much offensively. And then I got to tell you, I was really kind of swayed by that last drive that the Eagles had on Monday night, where Baker and the Buccaneers score touchdown, score 2-point conversion. There's basically 10 minutes left in the game. So they're grasping, but they're within 2 scores. The Eagles didn't give the ball back. They can do whatever they want to do offensively. I get it. You're going to try and take away their run, force Jalen Hurts to beat you. Well, so far, the Commanders' defense, what I would say their biggest weakness right now is giving up big plays. We saw Russell Wilson connect on big plays. We saw it from Josh Allen with the long touchdown pass to Gabe Davis. So I don't think that's a good recipe. I think that this is going to be more of a bloodbath. I've got the Commanders falling to the Eagles 34-13.
Yeah, I think the problems that are plaguing the Commanders don't get fixed in 1 week. I think it's going to take time for Bieniemy to coach some of the bad habits out of Sam Howell as far as getting rid of the ball. And I just don't think that goes away in a week. I think the Commanders get crushed in this game 31-10. I don't even think it's close, because if you bring your guys up to stop the run, Jalen Hurts is more than capable enough of linking up with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith for big plays.
He's got a good tight end, too.
I just don't see the Commanders competing in this game. I think it's one-sided, much like the Buffalo game.
Did you think the Cowboys were going to beat the Cardinals?
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not always wrong. I mean, sometimes I'm right.
All right. I am. I agree with the large sentiment. I think that just like I thought last week, Buffalo was. I said it on the show before the game. I said Buffalo's a better team, but I hope that we could be competitive. Now it was one of those games we just got crushed. I don't think we're as bad in that as we appeared. Probably not as good as we appeared in the Denver game. I think there'll be obvious corrections. I think you'll see max protect. I think you're going to see I think there's probably more of a commitment to run early, and so they're going to limit some of these sacks. And I think you'll see Sam Howell chuck the ball into the stadium seats quicker than you've ever seen in his entire career.
He better.
And maybe any quarterback in NFL history. He's going to be chucking that ball. He's going to throw it left-handed, anything to not get a sack. And he'll still be sacked, but he's not going to be sacked 9 times. It's going to be a little bit more competitive, and we're going to walk out of there with a moral dub, and it'll be things will calm down a little bit.
Now, last year when they beat the Eagles,
but it's going to be a moral victory.
Everything points to the moral victory thing.
Right.
Last year when they beat the Eagles, I was trying to figure out, how did the defense shut down the Eagles last year?
No, they turned the ball over 4 times.
That's what it really came down to. It was three fumbles.
Look,
Jalen Hurts threw a pick, but the 3 fumbles, so it was 4 turnovers by the Eagles. Because when you look at what they did on the ground, I was like, well, maybe the Commanders shut down. I mean, the Eagles shut down the Commanders running the football, and maybe the Commanders shut down the Eagles running the football. Well, the Eagles ran for 4.7 yards per carry.
No, they did fine. The key was we had the ball for 40 minutes.
Yes.
The turnovers, and then we were just getting 3 yards a pop.
They ran the ball well.
And we controlled the clock. 49 carries, 40 minutes time of possession.
Well, there's a couple things that aren't going to happen in this game that did last year.
That is not going to happen.
They're not going to turn the ball over 4 times. A.J. Brown had one catch for 7 yards last year. One. Now, it's because they didn't have the ball much. That ain't happening again. So, like I said to Ross, like I've said a couple times this week, they're targeting this game because everyone's talking about how Washington beat them last year on Monday night. They're not going to overlook the Commanders.
No.
They're not. This is a division game. It's a home game. They're going to come out and they're going to beat them.
I like to bet on talent.
Pretty soundly.
And if you took the top 20 players from both teams in this game, I'd say 15 to 17 of them are going to be wearing Philadelphia Eagles uniforms. I bet on the talent. There's overwhelming
15 to
talent.
17?
Yes.
I got to believe at least 5 Commanders get into the top
That's why
20.
I said 15 to 17.
I'm saying at least
that might-
5.
I don't think that's an outrageous claim.
Yeah.
The team that just went to the Super Bowl is more talented than the other teams coming in to play them.
What's your score?
We're at an all-time low in terms of morale and confidence.
And meanwhile,
We're
they're 2-1.
we're-
Meanwhile, they're 2-1. Like, that's
Okay,
the thing.
but you have to take the context of the 2-1.
I understand.
They beat Arizona and they beat a just god-awful Denver team.
800-636-1067 if you want to chime in. What's your score prediction, Jason? It sounds like you think it's going to be a bloodbath.
This is just a random 29-16.
All right.
Such a random
All
score.
right, let's go to Tony in Greenbelt. Tony, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I can't take it anymore. It was not a bloodbath. It was 16 points going into the fourth quarter. We were down 16-0. We were
They played
inside the
four
red
quarters,
zone.
sir.
Yeah.
4-quarter game.
They do.
I know, but we fell apart. If it was 31 going into the fourth quarter, then it's a bloodbath. We had a chance to win that game going into the fourth quarter. We fell apart in the fourth quarter. That was the worst part. We just fell apart in the fourth quarter. Again, we weren't supposed to beat them. We were probably supposed to get beat 31-0 in the fourth quarter, but we played a 3-quarter game. It's 4 quarters. But it wasn't the bloodbath that we're making it out to be. We shouldn't have been in that game to begin with based on the way we played the game. But the fact that we were holding them, the offense gave the game away in every stretch of the imagination.
So
The
what
defense
happens this
held
week?
up.
Well, hold on, Tony. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
They had a chance to win the game. They were
Yeah.
sacked 9 times. They turned the ball over 5 times. 4 times or 5 times?
You
5
couldn't
times.
watch that game and realistically
And they lost.
think we
They
were gonna
lost
win.
by 34 points, but it wasn't a bloodbath.
He was watching the alternate broadcast, Tony.
No, again, I'm just
He said
saying,
through
3
three.
quarters of a
For 3
game, we
quarters.
played well.
No,
We
you
played
didn't.
well for 3 quarters.
No, you didn't. You didn't play well 3 quarters.
They
What
were
game
shut
were you
out.
They hung
watching?
in there. Defensively, they hung in there.
Commanders
For
fans
three-
kind of tilt me
Hold on.
sometimes.
I'm an objective fan. For 3 quarters, they hung in there defensively. For 4 quarters,
Yeah.
they were dreadful offensively. That's just the
Exactly.
bottom line.
That's a recipe for a loss.
All right, so what
Yeah, it
happens?
was.
What happens in your opinion Sunday?
We're going to get the brakes beat off of us.
Okay.
All that said.
All right, thank you.
And I would argue that the defense was not playing that great. Score-wise, okay, but in the first half, they gave up 212 yards of offense.
Yeah, but the
They're-
whole goal is keep them out of the end zone, keep the score low. Anytime you can hold them to a field goal, if they're marching down the field, you hold them to a field goal, that's a win.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
So,
so maybe in
it's
the red
fine.
zone they were okay, but
It was.
Yeah,
it
I'll
was-
give them
You can't-
okay. I'll
nobody
give
in the
them
right
okay.
mind.
I won't say
For
good.
3 quarters, it was good enough defensively to win the game.
But you can't tell me that you had a chance to win the game. In
we
the
did
fourth
not
quarter.
because offense was so bad.
Right.